Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Broken Lords on Endless. The music is downbeat. Sounds a little sad. Clearly it's been paying attention to the events of this game. So we're in a little bit of a rough position here. We're in a position that I would describe as beyond precarious. It is somewhat likely that I have lost this game. So here's the core of the issue, right? We have this army, which is going to attack Shulna. We managed to repel them when they attacked this turn, but I would say that we lost that battle. We came out a little bit behind, and at the beginning of that battle, we had 200 fortification. At the beginning of the battle that happens at the beginning of next turn, we will have 0 fortification. So I suspect we will not be able to fend them off. Now, odds are they're going to take Shulna and then immediately leave it. So we could, in theory, just take it back, but we also have to deal with this army. This army is, first of all, larger, and secondly, has a couple of better troops in it. You can see there's a Forager 4, and a Necrodrone 4, and a Necrodrone 5. The Necrodrone 5 has 141 attack. We have 120-ish defense on our troops. This guy's a little more, because he's a level higher. So basically, our health isn't high enough to survive a lot of hits. Our defense isn't high enough to cut down the efficiency of the enemy attacks. And basically, they've outstatted us. I think what happened here, we definitely had a much more promising start. I think what happened here is I just focused too much on the economy. I thought I was going to have a chance to just slingshot right up to those Palladian and Adamantian weapons, and it hasn't worked out that way. It's not like we're getting ganged up on or anything either. There's a lot of combat between the computer players. You can see they're taking each other's cities and stuff all the time. I'm actually very curious what Purple's situation is now. I'd love to know. There's no real way for us to get that information since we didn't meet them. But I think it's very likely that we will lose the game on this in the next couple of turns. I'm disappointed, but listen, we're not going to give up. This is a very unusual set of game settings, but it's an interesting challenge, and I don't want to give up just because it's hard, right? We don't learn anything by giving up when the game gets hard. We don't learn anything by only winning the game under circumstances that we already know we can win under. We got to keep advancing. So I think we're going to be able to learn some things about how to manage the early game against a really militarily superior opponent. I also want to note, just so everybody's clear on what we're talking about when I say militarily superior, the Forager, the default Necrophage unit, is actually not that great of a unit. It starts with, I think, like 3 or 4 points of attack more than a Stalwart, and only a couple points of damage more than a Stalwart. And they're squishy. Foragers are not great fighters. They're fine. No, they're not even fine. The thing is, they have disease. Foragers are pretty bad fighters, but they inflict the disease on you. And in any battle that lasts more than a couple of turns, disease ends up doing quite a bit of damage. That said, the Necrodrone is actually, I think, one of the best early game units, and one of the best units in any player's military, in any faction's military. And it is the Era 1 research for the Necrophages, so they can pick it up very quickly, and you can see the AI. I'm not sure if they get to start with a bunch of free text, or if it's just that they have a lot of free science income, so they pick up their first text for free. But the Necrodrone is a real problem. The Necrodrone is probably the most dangerous unit you're going to face out of a player who's only in Era 1. Honestly, maybe at all. There are only a couple of units that have more damage than a Necrodrone, but a Necrodrone also has like reasonable stats in a lot of other places, and it has Sweep Strike Back, and it can fly, and it has the disease. It's a very good unit. We do not have anything on that level. Well, I think let's push onward here. I don't think there's any way we're going to win, but we can definitely take back Melanter. If we can chase this army off and somehow hold Shulna, we might be able to bring this to an end, but we don't have any influence, and so we can't even... Oh, wow, he actually has another army up here. In addition to having 2 units garrisoned in... Okay, so we can't even take Melanter back, probably. Ugh. If I move to here, no, there's no way for me to do this in a way that doesn't include this army. And the necro drones are kicking our asses. Yeah, this is a pretty much a foregone conclusion. Okay. Well, this was a shame, but we're learning things. We're learning that we cannot afford to play that economically. Even when things look good, it's got to be a little more defense focused than that. The enemy is just too aggressive. But look at this. We made it further in the faction quest. So the Penitent Chapel, the Penitent Chapel is fine. It gives us a little bit of ability to heal. So this, if you're having trouble parsing that tooltip, because they're not always the super clearest, this gives us a small amount of regeneration based on the number of pacified villages that we have in our empire. This is fine. Not too far forward from here in the faction quest, there is eventually a building that gains us dust for any XP that is earned by any Broken Lords unit. Once we get that far into the faction quest, if we can win a couple of battles, it turns into this incredible snowball effect where we just make huge amounts of money, and then we use that to bolster our ability to fight, and then we win another battle and huge amounts of money and more ability to fight. And it's a tricky faction quest to get forward in because it requires you to do that 12 texts from Era 1 thing. And we're going to have to survive past this point. This is basically where we've lost both of these games now. I think we are just going to go ahead and tap out here. It's been rough. You know, we've lost a couple of games, but listen, I didn't let it get me down when we lost. Jeez. At the beginning of the Alayi series, I was trying to win one game as the Alayi. I think I lost 6 games in a row, 7 games in a row, something like that. Whew. Okay. Let's get back into it. So, the enemy starts... like I said, Foragers are not great units, and I think a lot of factions have an advantage over a Necrophage player right at the beginning of the game. The moment the Necrophage gets Necro Drones online, things turn around a little bit. I don't think that the Broken Lords, though, even have an advantage over the Necrophage player when he's just on Foragers, because I really think the Stalwart is possibly the worst, one of the worst starting units. And it's not that they're bad units in general, but the fact that their strength is so defensive in nature means that before they get any gear, they have such a hard time killing things that it's hard for them to win battles. And trying to survive through attrition is obviously less than ideal when you have to pay for all of your healing. Okay, so what have we got here? It's interesting. One thing I do want to try this game, and it looks like maybe I'm not going to get the opportunity because this is just a lake, yeah. I was going to say one thing I want to try this game is pushing a boat out really fast, like being really aggressive with getting a single boat out and seeing if we can't get a little bit of love on the ocean, but we have started significantly inland. That's another lake. Is this also lake? Yeah, inland. You can see it's inland waters rather than coast or ocean, so... Huh. Well, we have a couple of interesting anomalies here. 9, 14, 12 is certainly a good start. 13, 15, 10 is definitely better. My only concern with this start is that we can't see what's south of it, but we can fix that. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to pick up this ruin right away. Let's run our hero out over here. Okay, well, it's actually pretty okay land down here. I was kind of hoping that if we started here, obviously we'd be able to expand into the lake and take advantage of aquapulvistics on the lake. Is this... I guess I technically can't see these tiles, so I don't get tooltips on them. That might be actual coastal water. Alright, well, I think we're going to have to settle over here. 13, 15, 10 is a pretty good start. Yeah, okay, I feel good about that. Oh, I forgot to search the ruin before settling. Foolish mistakes. Tiny little mistakes. They add up, man. Alright, we did find enough dust in that ruin to buy a citizen on the first turn, though. Okay, we have way more science this game than we've had in the past couple, I believe, on our starting location, so hopefully things will be a little bit smoother for us on the technological development front. That's definitely played a role. This is haunts. Ooh, haunts are interesting. The slow development of our science has definitely played a role in our... well, where's that? Okay, that's pretty far out. Because it's taking us so long to get to Adamantium and Palladium that we are not really able to spend any time with those weapons before we get overrun. Okay, well, we've discovered 10 emeralds. Real quick, let's have a look. Activate 4 luxury boosters to get a bunch of emeralds. Destroy 10 armies to get tactical training. So, our problem has been sort of twofold. Number one, we're not generating the gear that we need. The first game we lost due to being just completely overmatched statistically because we were so far behind on science. The other issue is that I'm having a hard time balancing development of Empire with development of the army. So we have to solve both of those problems. Just not being so short on science is definitely going to be helpful. I had to remember to build troops. We got to develop... It's a tough balance to strike, man. There's a lot of things we got to do. Actually, you know what? I moved this guy here so that he could parlay with them, but I think I'm going to have the hero do this parlay instead. Alright. Destroy the Haunts village in Sulin to get 15 gold. Oh, I forgot. Popping the emeralds. There's no reason to hold on to the emeralds and then push us up to happy. Which is obviously beneficial. So do I want to just send everybody home and take out the Haunts? We could take them down because they're right next to our city. We'd get to include all the militia. It should be pretty easy, actually. And I would actually love to get that gold. So we've got a little bit of time as that guy winds his way around. So let's just have a little bit more of a look around. Okay, Lost Lie has some compelling terrain. This massive anomalies could be a lot better. It's a lot better for other people. Alright, so we need 112 dust for the next citizen. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Do I want to just... I'm going to just fold the hero into this army, actually. Howdy, Green. So you can see, this is a Necrodrone. It's turn 4. So the AI must start with free stuff. Because they... oh, no, you know what? They start with the Necrodrone researched, I think, actually. I think it's one of their free techs, maybe. Turn to the village when you're ready to give them 50 dust. Yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. Alright, so we're going to... This is enough water that it could be coastal. Maybe we should expand away from our neighbors. The fact that we were so cornered definitely played a part in the way the last couple of games went. With any luck, we can avoid getting cornered this time, but you know, it still would be better if we were able to win under even under that circumstance, obviously. Let's queue up the mill foundry. We know we're doing that, and next turn we'll be able to buy a buy a citizen for the capital. Okay, let's do this. Now, Haunts are actually pretty good units. As far as minor faction units go, I would think Haunts are in at least the higher middle tier. But we get to cheat. We get to bring in a lot of free units here. So, as ever, I'm going to try to let the militia take the brunt of the attack. These guys have chain lightning, so we do have to be wary of that. And as you can see, they do like pretty okay damage. And they have enough defense that apparently they are impossible for us to damage. There we go. There's a little bit of love. I remember losing militia is completely meaningless unless your city is under active threat of attack. Because in any other situation, they just regen. If your city's not actively being sieged or something, the militia will just regenerate the next turn. It's not something to worry about. Oh, here comes the chain lightning. It's actually going to take us till turn 5 to defeat a pair of minor faction units. This is a sad time. Alright, 11.1 or 11.7 XP. Okay, 15 gold. Ordinarily, I would hold off, but minus 50% on city upkeep. I guess it's not that big right now. I'm going to wait on using the gold, I think. Alright, so let's get back to that village. Which one was it? It was the top one, right? No, it's the middle one, okay. I think this is still the right plan to use this hero as a governor. I'm definitely questioning all my basic assumptions, though, based on the fact that things have been going so poorly for us. Purple forward settled us. Its turn. They set down that city very quickly. So that's something to be nervous about. Let's start accumulating material for weapons. Alright, so we're making some pretty good money right now. In a second, we're about to get some wine, which will allow us to push up to fervent. Yeah. So let's pop the wine. Okay. Now, if you're wondering why I haven't used the gold, despite the fact that the gold is plus dust, and plus dust is, like, obviously the most important thing, it's minus 50 dust, minus 50% dust on city upkeep right now is not a huge value for us. Our city's upkeep is 10. So, first of all, we get no benefit from the approval that it gives right now because we're already pushed up to fervent. And when we didn't have the wine booster on, it wouldn't have pushed us from happy into fervent. And 2, the bonus is the smallest that it will ever be. So I'd prefer to use this a little bit later, when one of these boosters ends and our approval value does fall a bit. I'd prefer to use this to push it up a rank and to get more dust by reducing our costs by more, which obviously requires that our costs be greater. Some kind of quest-related army has spawned here. I'm not sure what's up with that. I think I don't care. So you want to get into the next part of the faction quest as quickly as possible. So quickly that I think we're just going to go settler like right now. Let's go, go, go. Because the earlier you move this faction quest forward a little bit, the earlier you get the thing that reduces the cost of Era 1 technologies. And obviously, the longer you wait on that, the less valuable it is to you. Alright, we have a lot of... Okay, we're getting aggressively settled on by all of our neighbors. Right, well, I'm just going to have our army like chill over here and wait for this dude to be produced. Yeah. So we're definitely doing a lot less exploration. I think settling to the north is pretty much guaranteed to be the play. Let's take the time out to grab Mercenary Market right now. We're in one of those situations where we don't really need to research more stuff to build. Our city's kind of busy. Okay, the emeralds have ended, but we'll still be fervent. The moment that we get another resource, another booster worth of resources, we would pop the gold in order to have popped 4 resource boosters and get the legendary deed accomplished. Alright, so we're settling probably this region. Okay. Alright, let's get the titanium extractor up and get ready. Actually, do I want to build a titanium extractor, or do I want to just build a burrow over that? Let's do that. This has a little bit more value to us. I'm not going to buy the citizen. Well, it's only the 3rd citizen, though. Yeah, go ahead and do it. It did reduce the turns to finishing the burrow street by 1. I was thinking we're going to buy out, we want to have Dust to buy out citizens in our new city, but we had so few citizens in the first city that we were going to be paying for a 3rd citizen pretty quickly in one of the cities anyway. We are 3 techs off, 2 techs off of moving up. I think, do we have any luxuries? We don't, right? I don't see any yet. So, I mean, let's get topography and maybe sewers or pillage or something. We'll see. We'll see. Definitely topography, though. Wait, wasn't that... Oh, no, that's right. Why did I think that was the ruin? The ruin's way up here. Alright, well, this will give us some time to figure out what the deal is with this region. Yeah, we failed a quest that was reliant on that village not having been eaten by giant bugs. Okay, so I feel a lot better about our science this game, but I don't know that that's necessarily going to be enough to avoid the sad results that we've been posting. Enter era 2 within 10 turns. I think we can do that. Oh, Empire approval value is 80% and fervent? Somehow? I don't think that's right. Okay, yes, please rebuild this village. We need that, and then we're gonna build some units probably. Well, it's very difficult for me to balance because we're about to finish topography, so I'm going to want to put up a geomic lab. Wow. Purple is being a huge asshole. Okay, 15 gold. So at this juncture, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the gold booster 3 times. When you pop a booster multiple times, it adds to the duration. Using it 3 times will make it last for 30 turns. I feel like, I'm fairly sure, that being able to pop a booster while you already have the booster running and having the duration extend rather than just refresh is unintended. Because this is very silly. So I just did that. So now, if I did it after I plant the 2nd city, I would get less time. Because it would cost more. We'd only be able to pop it twice with 2 cities. So it seems a little silly to me that we can use it now and get it for longer. I don't know. But the fact is, I feel like we need the help. Things are not going well. Okay. Settlers all the way in the back. Good. Good, good. Okay, not a lot of tech to apply here. Does he have sweep strike back? He does. I know they have circular attack. Okay, so we're going to want to position our units manually. You do not do anything I don't tell you to do. We're going to want to place our units such that they are not vulnerable to taking damage from Sweep Strike Back. Actually, if these two just hit him relatively hard, it won't even matter. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Okay, we did it, Archaeologist, but actually we've done such a good job of researching this game that it is going to matter less than it has in the past. And we got the 130 emeralds, of course. We popped the emeralds, pushed us back up to Fervent. Unfortunately, this is only going to be this way until we found the next city. And we can search this ruin for real now. Hey, 30 dust. So, we did not find a very fertile region here. We have to settle north. Jesus. What about this? Is this... Nope, not really amenable. This is a very green region, which unfortunately means a lot of food. Not a lot of the stuff that we need to live. Pretty grim. This is bad. This is a bad start. I do appreciate all the science, though. Alright, so we're killing that. Got a bunch of dust. Red settled forward. The AI is not being shy here. Okay. We have a bunch of money. We have early access to heroes. John Port is always good for us. I suppose there's something to be said for maybe taking a cultist and hoping to live through the early game and take advantage of the strength of cultist heroes in the late game. But honestly, I'm a little nervous about that. Let's try to make it at least to the mid game before we start using strategies that are reliant on doing well in the end game, huh? Alright, so John Port is adding some good solid dust to that city. We found some glass steel. There'll be rewards for people who assimilate the Dogeshi. How are we gonna manage this? So none of the land around our starting position is any good. It all looks like this. These tiles have no resources but food on them. Ugh. We could settle, I guess, in the north of this region, take advantage of... This tile's perfectly fine. And then also... the water? Because, like, otherwise, this region is horrible. I guess we could have settled down there, maybe? I'm so screwed here. So if we settle Barians... I kind of think we should try to settle this region, maybe? I don't like settling as late as we're going to. But I really want to stop the enveloping. Alright, I think we're actually going to do this. I know that going for economy and population first seems really obvious, but we are seriously... I wasn't too worried about getting to 40 influence, because we're seriously going to be devoted to industry for the foreseeable future. We have a lot of things to build. Let's talk to these guys from here. Okay, that's probably not happening. This region is better, definitely. Like, honestly, settling right here is not... It's not horrible. It's low industry, but... Well, maybe this will be good. We'll see. So actually, it looks like this could be coastal water. If this is coastal water and we take this region, it'll help a lot with preventing us from getting completely surrounded. Alright, let's send a stalwart over here a little bit, just have a look around. No, this is an inland lake. Well, this region has gold. So there are some standing stones over here. 11, 12, 6. This isn't a really high dust location, but it is not bad on the whole. We could settle right here with the intent of expanding up in this direction. That's not bad, except for the fact that green's going to view it as an act of war. But, I mean, it's necrophages. Oh, blue is over here. Actually, we might be able to weaken green significantly by preventing them from expanding north. I guess I don't actually know what the territory to the south looks like. Oh, it looks like we're at the sort of at the north end of the continent. We can see the edge of the map up here. So probably there's lots of good land to the south. But we can make them do it. We can make them go that way. I think that's probably to our benefit. Alright, so let's try to form a wall. Okay, build Geomic Labs so we get free management sciences. That's cool. Did we just finish Geomic Labs, huh? Okay, well, we'll get it when we build it in the second city. Hold on, before we do anything there, let's think a little bit here. So we're definitely going to do this. We're going to buy a couple of citizens here. So we see pink. That means that we can see the borders of all five of the other players from our starting position. I feel not good about that. You know that feeling you have when, like, you feel not that good? I'm definitely nervous. Alright, well, let's make some units, I guess. The question really is, do we make a settler or do we make stalwarts? Because we do need to claim land. If we claim Barians, we can keep purple from surrounding us. These regions are so weak for us is all. We really want to expand south into this nice redstone, sandstone area. South and east. Huh. Well, we should definitely get on this. I know we don't have the resources to actually take advantage of it right now, but we'll get there. I'm gonna build a settler. Hey, we're gonna have to carve out our borders with a quickness here, if we want to have any land at all. Wow, 11 pearls. We just meet. Oh, it's just green talking to us. That's fine. So let's do a little bit of exploration. Along Pink's border, I think. We'll try not to go too close. We don't actually want to meet Pink if we can avoid it. Okay. So I think we're going to want to pursue retrofitting pretty quickly. Part of the reason we got attacked in the first place, I think I didn't talk about this specifically enough. In case it's not obvious, one of the reasons we got attacked in the first place is the poor state of our military. The AI is a lot less likely to come after you if you're not a free meal. So if we focus on bolstering our military earlier, not doing quite as much infrastructure stuff, we actually may be able to ward off that early assault in the first place, and we will eventually pass them in power. The AI gets a huge head start in effectiveness, but they can't hold out forever. They don't play the game well enough to stay better than a human player forever. So it really is a matter of surviving while working on our economic engine. This is going to take the form of building troops for us because it can't not. But that is not the most important thing, it turns out. So I think I'm gonna try to lean into this better technology thing. Get those alchemy workshops up. We have quite a bit of titanium. We only have one active mine, but that won't be true forever. Who did we meet? We met Purple. Purple incurred in our lands. Okay. Where the hell do we settle in this? I was gonna say this barren desert, but I would love a barren desert. Where the hell do we settle in this stupid lush forest? Hold on a second. So John Port, let's work on getting us more dust. Every time he levels up, it's an immediately valuable thing for us. Here's the damn pink guys. Huh. Oh, there are delvers in this region. That's definitely interesting. So this is a Necrodrone 2 with 70 attack and 68 damage. It's turn 28. 70 attack and 68 damage compares to our 31 attack and 27 damage. These guys have strategic gear on already. Alright, I'm going to head toward Barians with the intent of retrofitting quickly. I'm also going to eject these stalwarts from the city to grab some of these pearls, because otherwise Purple is going to steal all of our pearls. What did we find? We found 10 titanium. Okay, I don't really need all this titanium. So we're going to build... I said I don't really need all this titanium, and I was like, well, we better build that titanium mine, though. Get right on that. Okay. We actually probably shouldn't be building Stalwart 1s. I don't know what I'm thinking. We should have set this up. Okay, and you and you. These are the stalwarts, I know. A small amount of industry was lost. These are the stalwarts we should be building. So, I guess we'll upgrade this guy. We gotta upgrade them all eventually. So what is he brought in here? His Necrodrone 3 with 65 attack, 64 damage, 180 health already. And then some foragers that are less good, but still not all that bad. Already developed, already armed. I think I am going to do the thing I said with the settling near the water, maybe? 6, 8, 8, 10. I know that's not great, but look at, like, 7, 8, 5. 6, 8, 8 plus approval is not bad. That's not a thing that I'm too upset about. Plus, it is on the coast. Give us an opportunity to go after some sea resources after all, maybe. Alright, so we're already compressed between a lot of enemy players. We actually border everybody, because it looks like this space is in this blue region. We just got to build up our military quickly. Alright, popping this won't make us more content, but it's about to be a little bit more expensive. And I want to go ahead and grab the small approval boost now in case it matters afterward. Because it's possible that the founding of the third city could have taken us down below content. And then the small amount of approval could have pulled us up. How much longer do we have on the gold? 18 turns. Alright, so we have haunts available to us. Haunts are interesting. They're fairly expensive as far as minor faction units go, but they have good stats, and they are disease immune. In this place, that is more relevant than it has perhaps ever been before. And of course, plus 5% science for each of their villages. Unfortunately, we just have the one. Gorin have fine stats. These are fine, okay units. Plus 5% life is not bad at all, especially considering that our base life totals are quite high. But I think there's no way we take Minotaurs over Haunts. And then Erisys give plus 0.5 move for each village. And Erisys are pretty good stats-wise as well. They're a little bit on the soft side. You can see only 24 defense. I think I'd like to assimilate the Haunts, because I think I'd like to have Haunts. These guys are a little too expensive to be the backbone of our army. We're definitely going to need functional squads of stalwarts. 198. So it's going to be a couple of turns. I'm going to go back and get boarding vessel. We have to get up to 12 Arrow 1 techs anyway to get our quivering circlet. You know how it is. Yeah, I would like to build some haunts, though. That would be cool. Oh, I suppose the new city could build things, yes. I think I want to save dust to make sure we get the retrofitting done. Doesn't feel super right. Alright, let's move one citizen onto dust somewhere. Just so that we get enough this turn. In fact, it's going to take... Yeah, exactly that. That's going to get us to 196. Yeah, okay. Alright, and remember, when this Geomic Lab completes, we'll get a free tech from that Ruin quest. Okay. You may have noticed that it went slightly over. It's because of rounding issues. Okay, so we're going to have a full army of stalwarts here in a turn. I think we need to get alchemy workshops going in any place that we can. Let's push this advantage, this early science advantage. We probably do want to make sure that we're getting enough titanium, though, because we're going to be using it for troops and buildings. We don't want to run out. Okay. We did it! Management sciences for free. It's a pretty good tech, actually. Okay, somebody got into Era 3 and no center of influence facility was unveiled. That's pretty good for us. That has hurt us a lot over the last couple of games. Let's go ahead and get open pit mine now that we have access to gold. We need to get Baryons to put out a boarding vessel pretty quickly. 8 turns obviously is an unacceptable amount of time. But they have to finish their mill foundry and their empire mint before we think of putting anything else out in that city. Oh, I should have ejected this guy and had him join that army. That's a good point. Empire plan coming soon. 120 would be adorable, completely infeasible. 60 is fine. We'll have that. Right, in order to get 120, we'd have to be at 15 per turn for 6 turns. Or not quite that much, but a lot. Yeah, there's no way. No, I'm fine with what we're getting. Right, these guys wanted me to come back with a ton of minor faction units. That's obviously not happening. I guess let's go get some more ruins, have a little bit more of a look around. Sort of bailing my whole army out of my territory. This is maybe not the best play. Why don't I make this a thing that just the hero's doing? And run the rest of the army back. Because obviously we can snap the hero back at any time. Okay, religious fervor all of a sudden. Yeah, actually we're gonna get to 120 without even having to work for it. So Bullman is a very small region. Green has a huge army. Good to know. These alchemy workshops are taking forever. It's really important that we not fall behind technologically. I think it's worth going for these. But it's definitely going to lock up our cities for a while. Be at war in the next 10 turns. Could happen. Not something I'm going to do intentionally. But could happen. Okay, 50 dust. Lovely. So, plus resources from deposits. And now the question. Do I want to snap this hero to a city? Probably... Dust efficiency isn't huge. Although it does still provide a small percentage boost based on the hero's level. So right now, you know, plus 4% dust. That's not, it's not zero. It's not a lot, obviously. Or we could just snap back to the troops. The big difference in XP is, with the troops, we'll be getting plus 5 XP per turn, but in the city, we'll be getting a little burst of XP every time a building finishes. So, I'm not actually sure which is better. Okay, we're going to need a little bit more early game. Let's grab sewer systems. Sewer systems are totally fine. The central market is just better. It's significantly better. But I think the sewer system, because of the fact that it's going to move us forward on our faction quest, is worth picking up instead in this instance. Well, do I want pillage? We're not going to get to use pillage. We are not going to have time for pillage, probably. Well, actually, you know what? We can't... I'm going to do it. Oh no, I already picked up pillage. What am I thinking? Well, good work, me. Because I think pillage is something I ought to have. Right, let's buy some citizens now. We've done our retrofitting. So how long would it take to build a boarding vessel? 4 turns? 3 turns plus the leftover change from the Empire Mint? Alright, we'll get a boarding vessel out. See if we can at least get lucky a little bit. Find some cool stuff in some sea ruins. You know. What's up? Yep. Somebody built the museum. Okay. These Kazanji want 12 titanium. We don't get anything for pacifying them except that they are pacified. I'm definitely not giving them 12 of my titanium. I need that. Alright, so let's have a look at green. Let's see what green's up to. What green is up to is closing their borders to me. It's like they heard me. Hi, purple. How you doing? What's happening? This is awfully suspicious. I could have been more aggressive. Alright, well, since they close their borders to us anyway, they clearly intend to fight us. I'm just going to pillage their stupid crap. Alright, we need to... You know what, I'm gonna pop Duval down here for now. Duval has enough fortification damage that it changed it from a 3-turn pillage to a 2-turn pillage. Alright, research is complete. Moving along on the faction quest, we should definitely give John Port the Quivering Circlet. +7 industry is such a huge benefit. Like, all the other stuff is really good too, but there are very few things you can do that are just going to be straight +7 industry without, you know, at least having to build a building for them. Speaking of buildings, we have a lot of options now. Let's go ahead and put up our sewer systems. I'm going to grab meritocratic promotion. It might be time to, actually, as much as I like having a higher approval level, maybe we should, you know, get ready for war. Also, we can maybe actually put down a penitent chapel, a city that will trigger the penitent chapel thing here. We actually do not have a lot of dust available to us in the remaining regions. The AI has not been quick to claim these. I'm not sure why, but it sure feels like it's because they're not any good for me. It's interesting that this is also still open. I'm not sure what's going on with the AI here. Okay, we successfully gained 56 dust and a small amount of adamantium, and a closed borders from purple. So purple is thinking about declaring war on us as well. What are your units looking like? Not bad, certainly. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take this, and I think we can lower the cost of our units. And no, there's no way that's right. Hopefully we'll be able to, find something that makes this this boarding vessel worthwhile. So it turns out the emeralds aren't really doing anything for us right now. There's no real reason to spend them. He's getting a settler out. If it comes into our land, we will fight it. I should probably heal and equip Jocelyn, since apparently we're going to be using this as a combat troop for a little while longer. Right, let's go for the big two-handed sword on the hero. It's even more effective on the hero than it is in other places. Army damage boost seems like a good idea. And personal damage boost? Yeah. I don't know where that settler went, but away, it looks like, so that's good. You know, I still don't actually know what this whole region looks like, and that probably should not be true anymore. Alright, here comes the ship. Here's hoping we find something cool over here. And then I think Barians might be building a settler, because we should expand more. Frankly, it's just sort of luck that there's still so much viable land over here. I think I want the settler more than I want to start mining glass steel, since we're just going to use titanium for all of our, what do you call it anyway? Well, we've encountered the Fomorians. Here's hoping that this, there's a nice easy quest available. Okay, still a couple of tiles unrevealed. Oh, we can see red got the museum. So red is a prime target, but I think green is probably where we're going to end up fighting. So we need this to finish, and we need to get another stalwart out at least. 7 turns, man. I'm pushing it. It's possible I wasn't aggressive enough here. This guy's not actually any faster. Yeah, we'll just let the capital finish what it was doing. We'll build the gold extractor. Alright. Come on, easy quest. I don't think I've seen this one before. Capture the indicated manufactorium in the same ocean. Okay, well that's a shame. Because that's not going to work for me. Now, let's see if this... This might be a single fortress region. It could be quite small. We don't know how far to the east it extends. But obviously it would be beneficial to us to be able to capture a region. That would be really good. Hi, Pink. What's up? Alright, so let's make sure that we get all of our tiles visible, just in case, you know, luxuries and stuff can spawn on the very edges. So I'd love to do this, but I don't see it happening. I don't know that I want to devote enough resources to the ocean. Okay, we're only 2 techs off of pushing into the next era. I'm trying to think here. What is the smartest thing to do? Dust Bishops are really good units. It's just that they're a little too soft for fighting necrophages with. I'm very nervous about the mobility of the necro drones. The last couple of times, the last time we had Dust Bishops, they just got torn apart without really doing any meaningful damage. We could get conscription centers, so that our units come out at a higher level. Yeah, but we might need to just get better at turning our economy into stuff. Okay, so Pink did eventually settle in Jethan. Alright, come on, easy quest. Conquer enough fortresses to gain 3 additional luxury resource facilities. Not an easy one, really. Getting a lot of quests that rely on... Oh, hey, free tech. So free tech actually does advance. You can see now we only need 1 more tech to get up here. We got 2 free technologies this game. That's actually pretty significant. And free technology is way more common on the water, it feels like. In particular, it's very common to get the naval techs. If you don't have boarding ship or fire ship, it's very common to find them out on the water. What are these guys doing here? And do I want to fight them? Is really the question. Do I want to go pillage something? Well, we can go get this ruin without meeting blue. Good stuff. 70 dust is a lot. How expensive are euros right now? Probably 400-ish? Even a little higher. Okay. Because we'd like to find a good army hero. Although Lord Peyton Quinn does have dust efficiency 3. There's something to be said for that. I'm a little nervous about leaving this army without a hero, with green having this right on our border and everything. Yeah, pink is making it really awkward for us to move around. It costs extra movement points to move from a space that is adjacent to an enemy army to another space that is adjacent to an enemy army. This time the settler is being guarded by a forager. Alright, let's see if there is maybe something a little easier over here. Construct any influence-related building to get a 25 die. I wonder if the sewers count. Because sewers do give plus influence in a city, if the city's happy enough. I wish we were making more dust than we are. I'd really like to get to, well, we can pull Marion, at least, over to dust, I think. The capital needs to stay on... Yeah, these 2 cities both need to stay on industry for now, but hopefully that won't be true for too long. Alright, so it's possible that we should have just pushed green as soon as we had 4 troops up. Ugh. Okay, I can get to here. You can parlay with them from this side. Come back with at least one bastion. Okay, if you do this, they spawn a bunch of fire ships and fight you, so that sucks. Okay, and this minor faction boarding vessel is clearly hunting us. Well, I'm going to get back over here and pillage this village again when it becomes unpillaged, because it's just free money. Make sure that we are mashing this button so that our boarding vessel has a chance of escaping from the enemy ship. What's up? Okay, green is warning us. That means that they intend to declare war, but they actually don't have the influence necessary to pull it off right now. No. He is injured, but he's also level 2. He will probably beat us in a fight. He only has 45. Let's go for it. He's going to attack us anyway. Okay. Yeah, him being level... Oh, I'm also level 2. That's right. My boarding vessel was built during Era 2. Of course it's level 2. So, in fact, that was not a... we were not fighting up. That was fine. Fair enough. Okay. We'll just wait patiently right here. 2 more turns until our final stalwart is ready. Okay. We don't have any sources of Palladian or Adamantian. Oh, wow. Okay, so we're gonna settle Bowman. That's really bad, jeez. Yeah, that's really bad. Food stockpiles. There's only one ship here. It might be a level 1 boarding vessel. I might... Man, maybe I should go to combat. Maybe I should go to war with this, this place, because if I took it over, we'd start raking in Palladian at least. I'm gonna go for it. Okay. It was a reasonable hope. Okay, the gold has finally run out. But we have some coming in now. Well, given the state of things here, I think obviously we're going to go for Dust Refinery over new weapons tech. I'm very disappointed. Green pulled their army back. I'm not sure what that portends. It could be a lot of different things. So we need to... 35 turns. By the way, check this out. It costs 250 industry to make a stalwart with some gear improvements. 649 industry to produce a single-ended. Ugh. Wow. I think we got a really bad start here. And it has turned into a really bad middle with the lack of availability of resources and... That said, we're not doing that poorly. So, what do I want to build in this city? How many turns does it take to make a stalwart? 14? Oh, I'm supposed to be, supposed to have bought a hero by now. Should have bought last turn. Let's see what we have access to. Army boost 1 is fine. Initiative boost 2 is fine. These are both city boosts. Health boost 2, initiative boost 1 is interesting. The Allegra Mordicant has a lot of defensive stats, not as much damage as I might like. We could just go for a melee hero, too. It's worth noting that Empty Belly is at least disease immune. He doesn't have the plus damage abilities that I like, but as an infantry hero, he will have plus a lot of life. Something. Also, I retrofitted these, or I equipped these guys with one-handed weapons because it was the best way not to strain our resources, but we have a fair amount of titanium stored up, so maybe it would be good to switch them to two-handers. Well, I think I'm going to take attack boost 1, damage boost 2. Again, this hero is probably less powerful in the long run. But I'm not convinced that the long run is a thing that it has a lot of material value to us. We gotta make it to the mid-game before we can start thinking about stuff like that. Alright, let's just do this turn, and then next turn with the 58 dust we'll hook him up with a weapon. It makes sense to go for the apprenticeship registry because we really need it. It's not actually going to be 14 turns. We'll put these people back to work eventually. Back to work on influence. Or on industry, rather. Unfortunately, the new hero has less fortification damage, it looks like. Oh no, it just hadn't updated. Oh no, it totally had. Yeah, so we don't get a 2-turn thing here anymore. Alright, pink is also... All of our neighbors now have closed their borders to us, except for red. Purple seems to be doing pretty well against red. That's definitely a thing we keep an eye on. Alright. We may have curtailed green's growth in a way that has really hurt them. It's possible, at least. So I think there's some possibility that we'll be able to just push green and get some serious work done here. We're definitely going to need to buoy up our approval levels. They're a little low. And they're going to get lower when we settle again. Alright. This is not a terribly climactic point. I usually try to find some big event to end the episode on where I can. But come back next time. This one, if this one doesn't work out, I might actually give this one another start from the beginning and try playing it really aggressively, like going after green the moment we have 4 troops. Because even though, like I said, this feels like a pretty bad start to me, it does have some interesting qualities, especially with us being completely surrounded by all of our enemies. Yeah, come back tomorrow. We're going to figure some things out. There's definitely going to be some violence. Maybe it will even end in our favor for a change. And we'll see you then.